good morning. Welcome to the Maronite Academy. I am honored to be here with you today. At the beginning, to introduce the next speaker, who's a friend of ours, who's a pioneer, president and CEO of Indefco Group. His name is Mr. Neemat Frem, who's standing in front of us. Indefco Group, a Lebanese-owned and based multinational manufacturing group employing over 10,000 people worldwide. Mr. Frem, he manages over 39 manufacturing plants and 21 commercial companies located in Egypt, England, Lebanon, Saudi Arabia, and the United States of America. The manufacturing plants produce plastic, paper, packaging, tissue, and consumer products, machinery, and alternative energy sources. Founded Phoenix Machinery in the late 1990s, a success story, the company has evolved from a machinery manufacturer into a supplier of renewable energy products and provider of turnkey commercial projects for waste-for-energy system. President of the Association of the Lebanese Industrial, ALI, from 2010 till 2014. ALI is the official representative of the industrial sector in Lebanon. It focuses on developing, promoting, and nourishing the industrial sector and the industrial companies of Lebanon. January 2013, launched Lubnan Al-Afdal, Better Lebanon, a national initiative with political, economical, and social dimension, with a clear roadmap for a renewable in the Lebanese national contract as an attempt for a restructuring change in the Lebanese political crisis. The most important, he's a good friend and the son of a great man, one of the founders of the Maronite Foundation. Before I welcome Mr. Frem, I also would like to take the opportunity to really present to you Madame Choueiri, the late wife of Mr. Antoine Choueiri, to whom we have the honor of dedicating this session, your session, the second annual session of the Maronite Academy, to really honor him and honor his name. Also, Mr. Choueiri, he was a founding member of the Maronite Foundation, who in turn is the host for this. Without further ado, I would like to welcome my good friend, our Vice President, Mr. Neemat Frem.
Thank you, my dear good friend, Charles. And welcome, Madame Choueiri. I will be speaking English, I guess, all the day. So welcome, Madame Choueiri. And thank you for your support for this class of 2014 of this Maronite Academy. This is our second, thank you. This is our second year doing this in this professional way, and we are very happy that every year it will be under the name of one of the founders. So hopefully next year will be also under one of our belated founders. Actually, it's becoming like a bad omen when we use, they have to die to put their name. But this is actually a way to say thank you and to remember that their souls are still with us. And this is how people affect beyond their lifespan. And this is what Mr. Choueiri has affected so much. This is why we are here under his name today. Having said so, I'm very honored to be in front of young Lebanese from around the world. In the name of the board of the Maronite Foundation, I would like to welcome you to Lebanon one more time. I'm sure many times you have been welcomed, but really now officially in the name of the board of the Maronite Foundation. We are proud of you. You are those Lebanese that have succeeded, and the sons and daughters of Lebanese that have succeeded around the world, yet we have failed in Lebanon. The success of the Lebanese, the individual success of the Lebanese is known all around the world. It has to do probably with a combination of gene and tough situations in Lebanon. But again, we have failed big time collectively in Lebanon. And this dichotomy between individual success and collective failure is really what's driving every single one of us here, Charles, myself, Madame Rose, Madame Bastani, everyone, to say enough is enough. I mean, we should not accept this anymore. We need to say that we want to turn these individual successes into one big collective success, which is rebuilding Lebanon. And I know that in every one of you, there is, you feel that this idea reached its time. There are times where the idea is ripe. The project is ripe. I think the project of the new Lebanon is ripe now. Why it is ripe? Because we feel that we are ending our first 100 years. You know that Lebanon was formed officially after Versailles, 1919, after World War I, and basically 1920 was officially announced. The Lebanese entity that we know of today was announced in 1920. So now, 2020 will be our first centennial. And because of that, you feel that all the stars, everything is telling us, let's revisit what we have done in the first 100 years, and let us look how to release the 2.0, Lebanon 2.0, which will be the second 100 year, the new and improved. And when we look at the events of the Middle East today, we feel that the conditions that brought to Lebanon 1.0, we're coming back to it. When I saw the Christians leaving Mosul the way they left, when I saw the Armenians leaving Aleppo the way they left, when I saw all the Christians of all the places of where ISIS is operating today, I could say, this reminded me, I could not, but actually I put it on my Facebook. I said, this picture reminds me of the Armenian genocide leaving at that time, and المجاعة, the famine of Mount Lebanon in 1915. In 1915, يعني we are almost 100 years. The next year will be the 100th year of the famine of Mount Lebanon. 50% of the Maronite died. 50% of the Maronite died in Mount Lebanon in 2 years, 15, 17. And nobody talks about it. I want you to know this. And we say that, and because of this, I guess we had Lebanon, the 100th year, where we had some sort of advantages. I believe personally that it is their sufferings which brought to us this kind of blessings. I believe that today, in what's happening in the Middle East, it's conducive to a fresh look at the Middle East. And this is where we are going all to work to have, this time, 2020, the new Lebanon improved, better than the one we built in 1920. And we believe that the Maronite are called for this architecture. It's their duty, because we are the founding fathers. We are the founding fathers of Lebanon. And the numbers talks. Before this famine, do you know that before the famine, we were by far the majority. We were 80%. 50% of us died in Lebanon. Despite this, in 1920. The census of 1921, where they did the first census after Lebanon was built. We were 80% Christian, 75% Christian, 25% Muslims, because if we count those that have left Lebanon. Before I was talking about Mount Lebanon. The 50% of the Christians that died were in Mount Lebanon. لأنه البقاع was not hit. The south, extreme north were not hit because it was open with the Ottoman Empire. It's really this fort, if you want, Al-Al'a, that is Mount Lebanon, which was hit. When you look at those numbers, you would say that in 1921, half of the Christians were outside Lebanon. It's true. And the other half was in Lebanon. But those that are, with two of them, they constitute the Christians of Lebanon. للأسف, and really what makes us pain is that in 1932, they made another census, and again, we were still 70%. But at this time, we announced, for some reason, that the descendants of the Lebanese from now on, the Lebanese, the one that will have issued the passport, because at that time we had the full independence after the withdrawal of the French mandate. So you have, between the formation of Lebanon, the new Lebanon, in 1920, and the formation of the independent, or not the formation, I would say the independent Lebanon, there is around 18 years. We decided at that time, not we, somebody decided at that time, that all that are not in Lebanon, even though they are Lebanese, they are not descendants of Lebanese like you, they are Lebanese, يعني هن مسافرين. They were not in Lebanon when they made the census, they were somewhere, traveling. They will not be Lebanese. And this is the second hit that we had, as Maronites, as a Christian, for our demography. So the first one was al-Majaa, the famine. The second one was we were kicked out and locked out. This is the picture. This is how they started to count in 1936 with a 50-50 Christian Muslim, because we assume that those that are outside will not be Lebanese anymore, and their descendants will not be, except if they ask for it officially, and they had like 20 years to ask for it, and the embassy is outside. And you know, when people are outside, today with the internet, we're not able to call for people, in the old days. So nobody came. Anyway, or came a little bit, but again, we'll have another flow in the system. In 1950, we found out that maybe 50,000 of those that were outside did claim, a little bit more, 70,000, did ask for their citizenship. And they were never given to them. There was one in our crisis, in our political crisis, one of our president did approve their citizenship, but he was ousted by a coup, not a coup, but a problem in here. The end result, they were not communicated. Nobody told them that they were given back their citizenship. If you make those calculations, 70,000 at that time, their descendants today are maybe 300,000 or 400,000, which are Lebanese, and they didn't know at that time, and now they don't have the citizenship. So this is the third blow to our demographic. And then came the biggest blow to our demographic, or the second big one after the famine, which was the last war of Lebanon. And guess what? It is the last 10 years, it's after 1990, that we had the biggest exodus of the Christians of Lebanon. Do you know that between 1990 and 2000, we had almost 500,000 of Christians leaving Lebanon after the war, because there are bigger problems than bombs. It is when the morale and the hearts are broken that people leave. And this is when they left. So, having said all, looking at all of this picture, we would say, looking at those numbers fading away, melting away, and we sitting like this, having relatively individual successes in the Lebanese, all around the world, and saying that we are failing collectively, we would say to ourselves, we have to do something. That was the call for action for the Maronite Foundation in the world. We said, we have to turn our individual successes because we know better. We know how to make things successful. We know how to change situations. We are people that when we look at something and we don't approve of it, we do something to change it. We do not walk away. Remember, why we do this? Because we are people that have lived tough lives in those mountains. And when you look at what's happening, sorry, but with all the Christians of the Middle East, there is a major difference between the Maronites of those mountains and those Christians in the Middle East. We are Christians of the mountains. It's different. Throughout ages, we did live this kind of problems all around the Middle East. We always reacted differently. We said, no, we stick, we fight, we change situations. We do not walk away like those pictures of people walking away. It is not in our genes. We are built like this. It is the effect of the mountains. Mountains shapes people. Environment shapes people. A river shapes people. Guys, اسمحوا لنا يا شباب. حكي. Yeah. So the situation today is that we have decided to change the situation. And we said to ourselves, how do we make the change? There are three platforms or planes or axes that we want to work on. First one is internal in Lebanon. Second one is external with you and others. And third one is within our organization, by building the organization that is the organization. The first, let me start with the third one, which is supposed to be the first one to start with. It is the Maronite Foundation. We did call on people all around the world, but living in Lebanon basically, saying to ourselves that this team, and this is the role of the founders really at that time, is going to have people that are committed with this idea, that have a vision. And this vision is that, one, Lebanon, to succeed, has to have the diversity of the Christian Muslims. So we are not calling for a Maronite state. We are not calling for a divided Lebanon. We are calling for a pluralistic Lebanon with the right demographic balance in order to play the role of Lebanon in the world and most importantly in the Middle East, which is the Lebanon, the country message, Lebanon al-Risala of John Paul II. What is the message of Lebanon? It is exactly the opposite of ISIS. Exactly. Yani it was, and last year, to explain this idea, it would have taken me 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Today, it's very easy. The opposite of ISIS. Very easy. يعني Daesh, يعني the state, a Muslim state in the Levant, where it is only a one-colored country, a monochrome country, a country that does not accept tolerance. يعني Lebanon message, the Lebanon that we are calling for is a country that is the place and the real living example of tolerance among religions, of acceptance of other, and of creating a model that is successful, productive, this is where we're talking about the 2.0 model, which is more productive than the first 100 years, but built on tolerance and fighting the usuliyya, the fanatism and fundamentalism approach of those that believe that they have the right calling and all the rest are in the wrong path. This is really the objective of our first objective in the Maronite Foundation is to have a Lebanon, a pluralistic Lebanon with the right ratio of Christians and Muslims to protect the mission of Lebanon. Secondly, we believe that those Christians, those people that are outside Lebanon, that are Lebanese descent, are successful people that left Lebanon because throughout the ages, or their father or grandfather, because they were so successful or so adventurous that Lebanon could not provide for them the territory to self-actualize themselves. This is why they left. So we look at them and at their descendants as the top of the Lebanese, as the Lebanese that have passed what we call, there is a kind of natural selectivity process where those Lebanese have succeeded to come out of the well, as we call it. This is a test of the well. They jumped out of the well. So we want them before all the others. And this is why, this is our second objective, how to reconnect with them and how to tell them that Lebanon now is preparing himself to be ready for you. You are the Lebanon that we believe in as much as those that are here. You are part of us and we are part of you. Lebanon is a universal dimension idea. It's not only a physical place. And you are part of us and we are part of you and we want to reconnect. So this is our second idea. Our third idea is to build an organization that will transcend time. All the Maronite Foundation board believes that we are building an organization that will pass through time and through generations. That is why we opted for a structure that is what we call a patriarchal structure, whereby there is the patriarch, because, as you know, one of the biggest advantage of the church is that it is the oldest institution in the world. The church is today the oldest institution in the world. It's 2,000 years of succession and a structured transition. Because of that, you can use it as a way to pass through time. This is why the patriarchal, that's why we decided not to have a normal NGO, not to have a company, not to have a normal foundation. It is a patriarchal foundation, which means that the patriarch officially declared it, so it's part of the church somehow. Again, when you look at it from a governmental perspective in Lebanon, from a legal perspective, it's a patriarchal structure. And we hope by doing this, it will be perennial. So this is the first dimension. Our second dimension is working internally in Lebanon. When we looked at the laws in Lebanon, we found out that it's very hard to have you back, to give back the citizenship of those descendants, because the law is very hard. And I know some of you probably is having problem to have his citizenship back. Because by law, you need a legal suit to get back your citizenship. And we are working hard into changing this law. We have written a new law. We are fighting for it as an organization. It's very tough because everybody knows what it means. There are political players here who have hidden agendas and they are fighting us. But we have been now for the last 5 years working on it. And we are approaching, but every 2 or 3 years they take us back to the starting point and then we go again. So this is the second dimension. The third dimension is you, is the diaspora. Because everything starts by you saying yes, by the diaspora saying yes. Yes, I want my citizenship back. Yes, I want to reconnect with Lebanon. You know what is the old saying? You cannot take the horse to the water. You can take the horse to the water, but you cannot force him to drink. Now, we can do everything, but if you don't say, yes, I want my citizenship back, I want to reconnect with Lebanon. Lebanon is my project also, because I believe that Lebanon has a role, has a mission, and has an objective, and me as a citizen of the world, I am also Lebanese. If I don't have this, we have lost the case. So, we believed that opening offices all around the world, helping those that said yes but could not materialize it, to help them materialize it and having their citizenship back. But also we said to ourselves, we want to go further. We want to probe the idea that those that are not even aware of the concept, we want to spread the news, the good news, a new gospel, if you want, saying we want Lebanon back. We are the legitimate sons and daughters of Lebanon. We want to affect this country, the future in the coming 100 years. We want to shape it. We want to be citizen of the world, because now the world is one global village and we want to succeed all around the world, yet we want to be Lebanese also. There is no more contradictory ideas or basics when you say, I am Lebanese or I am American. I am Lebanese and I am Australian. You can be both. You can be three. You can be citizen of the world, whole world, and be Lebanese at the same time. Yani, you remember all the advertising of HSBC, local multinational. You are the local multinational. You are Lebanese and multinational. We want this. We don't want you or your friends, when you are going to spread this concept, to tell them, خلاص, don't forget about Australia. You are Lebanese. No, بالعكس. We want you to love Australia. We want you to love America. We want you to love Mexico, Brazil. At the same time, love Lebanon. Because they are not contradictory. This is very important. As young boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I was at that time when I was your age, I always were looking for a call, for a duty, for a mission in life. You know, people that live without a mission are people that are eating and drinking and going at night, but spending time to consume. Now, when you look at it, it's a biological machine. Yani, sorry, but you manufacture basically manure, basically, and you do nothing. So تعرف شو يعني manure. So people that have consciousness, that have ideas, that are blessed with the consciousness of the mind, with those 100 billion neurons in your brain, have to do something. And this is where, when I was at your age, I was thinking, hey, what I'm going to do with my life. So it's very important to put a mission at the right time in your age. And I think because you are here, because we're building filters and the way we are finding you, you pass those tests. So you are people that have a mission, that have a fire in their hearts. They are not without fire. They are not coming cold to Lebanon. You are not here for a summer vacation on the beach. We can show you better places for the beach than Lebanon. There is this call in you, and I think that if we align your call to everybody's call, to our call, and we synchronize it all together, we can shape the Lebanon 2020. This is the dimension that we want to talk about. And I want you, when you are looking on this trip in Lebanon, when you are visiting places in Lebanon, look at it from those eyes. From the eyes of the architect that wants to build the 2020 Lebanon. How? By saying to himself, Lebanon has a mission. The mission of Lebanon is getting clearer by the minute. In the last 2 weeks events. And look at them. Look at those events. Look at those events again with the eyes of the architect, not with the eyes of a frightened person. I want to leave from here. It's going to burn all around. Look at it from a person that wants to build something, and this is part of the terrain. This terrain is changing, and our role is becoming more important, because I tell you, there are more Sunni today that are convinced of our mission than Maronites. I swear to God. Today, in this minute, I tell you there are more Sunnis and Shias and Druze that are convinced of the Maronite foundation, like the irony, the name Maronite foundation, than Maronites. Because they are aware more and more how much our duty in the Middle East, our vocation, I would call it, our vocation in the Middle East is important in those days. This is the era that the Maronites are going to reshape the Middle East in the 2020 and beyond. Because of Lebanon. Without Lebanon, we cannot do anything. So, one, in our call for the Lebanese diaspora in the world, in our third dimension, we looked at opening offices, recruiting people as established structure, but we found out that it is the volunteers that makes things change. It is the wave, the creation of the wave that will give enough impulse for the tipping point. And it is your duty to build this, to make this wave. It is the class of 2013 and the class of 2014 and beyond, the new classes. Plus to support groups, what we are doing in every office, we are creating support groups of vocational people, like the priests, the party members, the business society, from the civil society, to help us in our quest of creating this wave. So your role is going to be very important. You will shape it, you will refine it in those 10 days and beyond, with Madame Basteni, Mr. Charles, and all the team of Academy, how you are going to build this network, this mesh, to create this wave. And this wave is one. It is, we want to shape Lebanon 2020. Two, we want to have more than first we want to have our citizenship, and the citizenship of all the descendants of the Lebanese, but not only because we want the paper, because we want to affect the change. So the objective is to affect the change. We believe that passing through in a democratic country, hopefully we will have elections soon, sometime, I don't know when, but in a democratic country, as a concept, having votes is a tool. It's like having a weapon. We want you to know that we have to prepare ourselves for votes one day. But I'm not talking about small things like politics, and I'm going for a deputy, or I don't care, we don't want this. The idea is to have a dimension where we affect the mega trends, the mega directions in Lebanon. And this is where, one, it's important to have your citizenship, but most importantly is to have a connection with Lebanon that is pursued in time, built, and there we connect, we travel, you invest, and you shape politically Lebanon somehow. This is the future. This is where you are going to create this awareness. I believe if you want to have this vocation in life, if you want to have a major change in the Middle East, let us work on rebuilding the Lebanon of 2020 that will take us in the coming 100 years. A Lebanon of a message, the message of Jean Paul II, the Lebanon, the testimony of moderation and of living with each other as different culture and religions, yet having the right productive coexistence. This is the model 2020 compared to the model 1920. The model 1920 was beautiful coexistence, but we forget the productive. This is why, if you feel in the last 30 years, because of the lack of the productivity of the model, it had to use, it could not self-sustain itself. It could not self-sustain itself. And because of this lack of self-sustaining, we had a lot of call from outside influence on our internal politics. This is, in a summary, what was the problem of Lebanon. Model 2020 should have more productivity. Coexistence plus productivity will create enough self-sustainability to have immunity from external influence. In summary, this is the Lebanon of 2020. You are going, and you can shape it by reconnecting all the diaspora with Lebanon, starting by saying, yes, I want my citizenship back. Yes, I want to re-affect Lebanon because I believe that I am a citizen of the world, yet I am also Lebanese. If you keep this together, we can change this thing. So this is where I want to stop. I don't know if I talk too much. Akid, I will stop, and now we can open all the discussions. So I hope that you will enjoy the rest of the stay in Lebanon. We hope that all of you will be safe, and this is what we are living in the news now. It's part of Lebanon. So this is now we made it so to make it real that you are in the Middle East, and welcome to the Middle East. Thank you.
If there are other communities of Lebanon with opposing ideals to the Maronite Foundation did the same, like created the same initiative to connect the diaspora of their communities to Lebanon as well, do you think that could be problematic?
On the contrary, I think that actually we are helping them reconnect, because we believe that those that are left outside have a lot to give to Lebanon from all sects and communities. Second, I believe that if they have the same idea as ours, that is, we want a Lebanon that is multi-confessional, a Lebanon that is not that believes in this coexistence, this productive coexistence, we have absolutely no problem. I guess they will help us in having this critical mass required in Lebanon to change.
I meant that if communities with opposing ideals to the foundation did the same.
With opposing ideals, you are right. If they believe, but those people do not work like the same, do not use the technique that we are using, which is having citizenship and building this kind. They have shortcuts. They will invade with weapons and change the situation with war. Yani, those people that you are thinking of maybe do not have to go all this way. They usually, because evil minds use evil things. Good minds use good things. They will not use such a long process. Yeah.
Gibran Habib, Sydney, Australia, originally from North Lebanon, Tanreen. I have a question for you. Mr. Frem, you've outlined 4 hits. You've outlined 4 hits to the numbers of Christians in Lebanon over the last 100 years. 4 incidences, like Lebanese civil war and things, and the famine and things like that. And you talk about restoring a balance, restoring the Christian Lebanese balance here in Lebanon. And from what I understand, that would mean registrations and obviously encouraging Christian Lebanese to come back and maybe invest, build homes, spend some more time, or reconnect with the motherland, Lebanon. The only place I've ever seen this happen in the world is Israel. Israel, before the 1940s, there was no Jews living in Israel, or very few. Most of them lived in Argentina, in Russia, in Europe, and it was only after World War II that they created a state, and many of them returned. This is before mobile phone, before internet, before anything. They managed to achieve this. Now, from what I understand, the foundation has got offices all around the world, which is great. It's very good. But, I mean, some sort of a lobby needs to be established. A political lobby. Yeah. It can't just be within Lebanon. You can't just ask people who have established themselves over here. For example, my grandmother has a brother who's in Brazil. I don't know that we've got some of our family in Brazil. My family's all in Australia. We've become separated all over the world, and thankfully we still have people here. But they're thinking of leaving as well. Young couples who've just been married, they want to leave because they find it very hard to establish themselves, work, many difficulties for young people. They have degrees, but they can't work, so they go to Gulf areas and other countries around the world. Now, what I'm trying to say is, how do you intend on bringing these people back? I mean, we will be touring Lebanon, and we're going to be seeing how beautiful it truly is. Thankfully, in the past, I've seen some of this beauty, but I'm going to, thankfully, through the foundation, going to be seeing more of this beauty. But some sort of a lobby, whether it's the Maronite lobby or a Lebanese Christian lobby, overseas and international around the world, the same way that Zionism, the ideology of Zionism, connected all the Jews around the world and bring them back to Israel almost 100 years ago. Yeah. Something needs to be created for Lebanese Christians. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. Let me tell you, first of all, there is two things here. There is, you talked about structure, which is creating the right lobby power in the world. And two, it is how physically we're going to have people coming and going and connecting with Lebanon. I will tell you first that connecting with Lebanon, coming back to Lebanon is not the idea. Lebanon cannot take the 5 million people, Christians that are outside Lebanon, or 6 million. Cannot physically, as you see, the infrastructure cannot. So we're not talking about coming back. We're talking about reconnecting. And you said reconnecting also. So reconnecting means that you invest, you come, you take your citizenship, you affect politically, and you come and go. You said children, and I have a 10 commandments. I'll give it to you at the end. We issued 10 commandments for the expatriate Lebanese, where we think this is how we connect with Lebanon. Probably when you die, you come and die in Lebanon. You will have retirement in Lebanon, in the mountains of Lebanon one day, hopefully. So this is what we meant by reconnecting. We believe that it is again, when you looked at and you referred to the Jews, we should learn a lot from them, no doubt about it. I have been always questioning myself, asking myself, what would bring a young guy from New York, having beautiful life, succeeding, to come and live in a kibbutz in Israel for 5 years and fight and have hard time? It's definitely not financial. It's definitely not the weather. It's definitely not the nightlife. So what would make this change? What will make him decide to do this? And then come back to New York and go to Wall Street and everything. I think it is an ideology. It's an idea. It's a dimension that is not materialistic. You remember Jesus saying, it's not with bread that we live only. There are other dimensions. ليس بالخبز وحده يحيى الإنسان. It is other dimensions. It is this fire in your heart that we are talking about. This is what will make you reconnect. And this is why, if we build the right idea, which is, we are not here a Zionist movement. We are not building a Maronite state in Lebanon. We are not. Let's be clear about it. We believe in pluralistic societies, but we believe in pluralistic societies with every society being formed, structured, with muscle, not with fat. We believe that we want to be a network in the world, yet we want to be American in America, Lebanese in Lebanon, Brazilian in Brazil, everywhere, or Australian in Australia, yet there is a network of Lebanese descendants all around the world that have a project. This is where the lobbying comes in. What is the project? Because without project, you cannot unite people. Projects makes teams, not teams makes project. Sometimes people say, let's form a team and we make a project. When you come to think of it really, it is the project that forms teams. You may say, I want to build this, and then I form a team and then inspire people that we want to build this. So we have a project called Lebanon 2020. What is Lebanon 2020? It is a Lebanon that is going to be pluralistic, means with Christians in Lebanon, not fading away, means a productive coexistence, which means it's a functioning Lebanon, a Lebanon that creates jobs, a Lebanon that develops, that have security, that have economic systems, and everything. And most importantly, a Lebanon where the coexistence and the free and the presence of the Christians in the Middle East is so flourishing that it is beaconing all around the planet and all around the Middle East against the ideas that we are hearing now, which is the ideas of a monoculture territories. I want to call, they are not countries yet, they are territories, a monocultural territories. We are against this concept. And so this is, the lobbying should be how to connect and use all our networks to build this and protect this model of a country called Lebanon. Again, improved, not the 1920 model. It's not enough anymore. It's not enough to build the 1920 alone. We have to talk about the model 2020, a model that is more productive, yet with the same coexistence level. This is in a nutshell the situation. Yes.
Hello, my name is Gilberto Nájera from Mexico, and I have a few questions because the idea is very good, and I think Lebanon has the potential to do this and more, but is the country prepared for that? Because I don't know if the politics are as good to do these infrastructures or to start building, to start accepting investment from outside. Because I think to make Lebanon grow, you need to activate the economy in here. So, for example, Mexico has been like 50 years that we are trying to do some reforms about energetics, about finance, health, etc. And it's complicated. It's been several years of this, and we are starting to finish this part. But here in Lebanon, I really don't know if the country is prepared for that. Because it's not only coming from outside and having connections, it's having connections and start doing things. So that would be my question.
Yeah, look, you're right. A lot of countries like Mexico and Lebanon have tried to know what should be done, but could not do what should be done. And you don't do what's right. You do who is right. This is the problem. This is the problem of politics compared to engineering, for instance. But in Lebanon, we might have a chance now. Why? Because we have no more options. Where we have the level of disease and disaster have reached such a point, and our debt, for instance, to GDP have reached such a point, our deficit to budget have reached such a point that we cannot continue anymore. In Mexico, you still have a long way to go until you reach a fatal situation, change or die. You don't have it in Mexico. We have it in Lebanon now, change or die. Finished, no more. You cannot go more than a year now without a complete, I would say, implosion of the social structure in Lebanon. And this is why the change is imminent. One. Two, you have external forces, politically, is telling you, you are either with the model of a monoculture or not, or you are against it. And if you are against it, you better be very strong, because they will kill you. They will force you to be a monoculture. Yani, it is again a natural selectivity process coming very soon. You either is going to be strong, organized, performing, or you're going to vanish. This is where we are now. I want you to know we are here at this stage, due to two simultaneous or they are coming at the same time, internal and external problem. The political external situation of the Middle East and the eternal socio-economic problem of Lebanon. This is where we are today. تفضلي.
Ladies first.
Ladies first.
Yeah, ladies first. Would you like the mic?
If you have the mic, يلا ماشي. You should have. Nice of you.
What is being done to open the opportunity to those of us who wish to gain citizenship through our mother's line?
لا, I didn't get you.
Can you hear me now? Okay. Is there anything being done for those of us who wish to gain citizenship through our
From their mother's side, I see.
Yeah. Is the Maronite Academy pursuing anything?
That is a tough question. That's a tough question. We are not addressing it now in this law. In this law that we wrote, and we are working hard for it, we could not, because maybe it will end up being with it. لأنه we are having a small problem in this. We are having now. Yeah. We are trying to have it through a decree, not through a law. If we are, this is what you are saying, we have I'll tell you the problem first. There is a problem if we make it straight ahead like everything, because we have presence of a lot of refugees in Lebanon, where they have a lot of official and non-official marriages. And because of that, it's going to create a lot of pressure on the system if we do this. To solve it, we said to ourselves, we're going to collect those data, work exactly like if it is going to be normal, but try to have it through a decree, special decree by names. And then, if we see that we're going to be flooded, when we are going to be flooded with those, we will upgrade or update the law that we are passing, which is still not being passed. But if we pass it, we will upgrade it, whereby we can take this with the right security, I would say, or tests, so that it will not be abused from those. Today, I'm sure we cannot enforce it. And whatever we write in a law today, the problem we have learned in Lebanon, that when you are writing a law, it's not only important that you make it right. It's important to see if it can be abused easily, and because you don't have the right weapons for enforcement, you don't have the tools of enforcement. So we hope that stage one, have it the way it is today, which is not straight with the descendants of the woman, have the descendants of the woman treated by a decree, and wait until you have a better way of enforcement of our laws, which we hope things will get better. When they will get better, we will upgrade this law into taking into account the ladies. تفضل. تفضل برهادي. برهادي محفوظ دين تبع جامعة he is the dean of our university where we are here today. أهلا وسهلا. تفضل. we are under his, he is the host. He's hosting us, and he's hosting you, and he's one of those Maronites that are fighting day by day on the same cause that you are all believing in. We had a question coming.
Yeah, thank you. Finally. My name is Mario. I was born in Canada, Montreal, but I live in London, UK right now. First of all, thanks for your time, your energy, your devotion for the Maronite Foundation. I just have a question on the diversity, on the pluralistic Lebanon you're arguing since the beginning of your lecture. Why do we want that? Why do we want this pluralistic, diverse Lebanon? I feel like we've been trying this project since the 1920s, and it's a massive failure.
Hello.
No project worked. I mean, just us here, the Maronite Foundation, we're trying to make us invest energy and time and passion into Lebanon. However, we're not even traveling to Tripoli. We're not even traveling to the Bekaa. We're not going to the Jnub. It's like de facto, the Christians in Lebanon live in the Jabal Lubnan area, and they don't feel home in the rest of the country. So why are we still fighting for a country we don't even believe in? I don't want to live in Tripoli. I don't want to live inside a Nor Sur nor Baalbek. I don't even feel home there. We don't even feel home there. We don't go there for an evening or an afternoon to visit. So why are we fighting for it? What is it bringing to the Lebanese Christians living in the mountains? Isn't it the mountain our home, or it's Lebanon?
Hello. Thank you. That's a big question. I don't take your applause as a decision to divide Lebanon. As a vote. This is, yeah. Look, I will believe, it's a tough question, to tell you the truth. Vocations of nations are very important. And if you lose your vocation, you lose your selling argument. And sometimes your reason to exist. If you remove from Lebanon the vocation of this pluralistic dimension, a state that can prove that we can live in one country with that much historical luggage and religious diversity, yet we are coexisting. If you remove this challenge, as you said, it didn't work well. It's a tough thing. I mean, we're trying to make a 20,000 ton vessel fly. It's not flying. It can't fly. You are challenging law of physics here. Yes, but if you remove the whole concept, I'm afraid that the raison d'être of Lebanon might vanish. Well, I would prefer, and we all prefer, a lot of thinkers, I'm not talking about myself only, and people here, I'm talking about the founding fathers of Lebanon. We said, there are, in the religions, in the Muslims' religion, in the Sunni, and the Shia. That's why I said, there are more Sunni and Shias today that are backing the Maronite foundations than some Maronites. Why? Because they believe, and dakhilkun, please, we cannot live with a monoculture model, because in your monoculture model, in our monoculture model, we live happily for them. In their monoculture model, they live in misery. So, one, why the Lebanon of 10,000, 10,452, why we want it? Because first, it gives us a vocation as Christians, that we have the Lebanon message, Limon message, Al-Balad, Al-Risala, has a universal vocation. Yani, if you think of it, the pluralistic societies of America and Australia and France and Europe has to invest in this model in Lebanon. Because this is a model, if it does not succeed, يعني you should start to think of Canada, how to create a منطقة شو بعرفني للشيعة ومنطقة للسنة. It's that dangerous. So the model, this thing gives us a vocation. Two, in the 2020 model, the new and improved model, we have learned from the past. I'm not saying that. This is why I insisted on saying it's a model 2.0. It's a revision model. We believe that Mount Lebanon and the Christian community has to create, be present in a network, in a, I would say, a structured organization that is meeting another structured organization. It is not a melting, it's a composite structure, it's not an alloy. تعرف الفرق بين الالوي والcomposite structure. It's not melting, it is a composite structure. This is why we talk about this decentralization that we are talking about. This is why we are talking about a new electoral law that captures those dimensions. This is why we are talking about defense strategy, السياسة الدفاعية, استراتيجية دفاعية, where it will capture a decentralized sort of a National Guard system. I believe that the 2020 model will capture what you are saying without removing the vocation of Lebanon. And then you can, if you succeed, you can go to Sur, you can go to Saida, you can go to Jujnub, because those that are living there, you are their anchor stone, and they are, it's like those in Arsal today. You think that the 30,000 people that are Lebanese from Arsal, how are they feeling versus the 70,000 Syrians or 100,000 Syrians that are in them, and then half of them are Daesh? What do you think they are feeling? So you have a vocation to give a voice to those in the other religions or sects that are outspoken. حدا عم يحكي أكثر منهم. They cannot talk anymore. So this is, I think we can build the two models together. ايه بس حرام كيف يبكروا بس اخر سؤال اخر سؤال.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Luz from Ecuador.
Ecuador.
Okay. First one, I want to apologize if you don't understand what I'm saying, because sometimes my English is not so good.
No problem.
Okay. Many of the people that are here are of the second generation, but I'm the fourth one. So in Ecuador happens a lot that many of my friends are also Lebanese descendants, are for one generation or third generation. So it's very difficult to us to know more about Lebanon and all their culture, because all the Lebanon people that goes to Ecuador are Muslims and not Catholics, and the only thing we know about Lebanon is some of their cultures or eat shawarma or something like that.
Yeah.
So what is going to do Maronite Academy to following or helping us to know about more Lebanon, or give them extra help in Ecuador to make this big
I'll tell you. First of all, we're doing the Maronite Academy for this. And your role is going to become an ambassador of Lebanon that we are thinking of and we are all dreaming of. Two, we are creating websites and networks in Spanish, so that once you are linked to this today, in this day and age, nobody can say that if he wants to reconnect or to know about something, he does not have access to. What we are doing, we are making sure that you give you all the tools, which is translation in Spanish for the history, for all those concepts of Lebanon, and to know more about Lebanon, about the culture and everything, and have this academy to bring people, and hopefully we will have organizations in Lebanon that have summer vacations for Lebanese, for old people to come having a house of retreats, all of these things to help this connection. But everything should start by saying, again, as we said at the beginning, yes, I want to reconnect with Lebanon. I think that it's important for me to reconnect to Lebanon. So you, as a fourth generation, it's great that you still feel that, yes, you want to come and reconnect with your roots. It's important that you spread this all around you and give them like a link. Go to this site or go to this. This is where you find the trips. This is where you find the knowledge. This is where you find the connection and the opportunity to invest. All of this thing will be on the same place. So by this, I want to thank you for your question. I want to thank you for your time. And I want to keep you with one idea. Everything starts with yes, I want to reconnect with my country. I hope that you will play the role of those early apostles that came or went all around the world spreading the good news. You are going to play, and we hope that you will play the role of spreading this idea. Yes, I want to reconnect with Lebanon because it's worth it to have a vocation, a mission to rebuild this country on the concept of a country pluralistic, yet a place for the Christians of the Middle East to have a place to flourish and still beacon in the world and the Middle East. Thank you very much. Who's going to introduce Dr. Dean? First of all, I want to tell you that I have here next to me another dear friend. He is a very close friend to our organization, to the Maronite Foundation, but also personally to myself and to Charles and to Madame Bastani and to every one of us, because he is one of those that believes in the same cause that we are all uniting us here today. He believes of this Lebanon. And because of that, he believed more than us, because he decided to take the route, the hardest route, a route of become a monk in one of our organizations that has been for 400 years or 350 years, the recipient of this tradition, of this culture, which is the Maronite tradition of work and pray. This is the concept. This is the concept in our mountains. This is the concept of the monks of the Lebanese order. This is where you are here today, in the Lebanese order. Part of this fantastic organization that's 350 سنة مش هيك?
It's 1695.
1695. It is more than an organization. It is a platform for the sky. This is where our saints depart, and we launch saints to the heavens. So we have so many saints from this organization. And I believe you me, for those that do not believe enough, if we have this miracle of having the Christians stayed in Lebanon throughout all of those problems, it's because of our saints. It's not because of our politicians, for sure. It's our saints who are saving us. So back to our dear. Today, he's today running this university for the second term.
Third one.
For the third one. This is the last one. Usually, because monks, they say change. He was so successful that we had a special situation for the third time. And this university, I know it from when he joined. Hage, today, I tell you in front of everybody, what I have seen here in the last 8 years, in the last 7 years, is phenomenal. This university today is the first green university probably in the whole Middle East. ما بعرف، ما بتصور في حدا.
We launched the project to be so.
Yeah, so energy efficient, the most energy efficient. He will tell you more about what he succeeded in doing, but also all his faculties today. He is so famous. As a businessman, I recruit from this university more than I recruit from anywhere else. Why? Because his students are those that are coming from not the wealthiest families in Lebanon, yet the hardest working families in Lebanon. They are those that are coming from our villages and our mountains. So I believe that he is starting with a good stone, but he is shaping them so well that we are using them to have those successful results in the world as business community. So he is behind. He's one of those that are behind the success of the Lebanese business community in the world. It is those universities, and this is the most important one. So thank you very much for hosting us.
Thank you.
Sir Hadi, I give you the floor, and
Thank you.
Thank you. Take my place.
So I would start with a welcome, and I want to state, first of all, that we at USAC, you know, it's an acronym of our university, the Holy Spirit University of Kaslik. It started as a French-speaking university, and we still have French. We have also many sections in English. So the name is the Holy Spirit University of Kaslik, and it is USAC. So on the website, you can, I think you have on your bags, our website, usac.edu.lb. You can have a lot of information about our university. But I would like to start with a welcome, saying that it's an honor for our university, and it's a big pleasure to welcome you here. Having you here, we feel it's a blessing. It's a happiness for our university. And why? Because we are linked to our Lebanese roots. And you know well, I think, that maybe in all your countries, maybe one or two countries, we don't have any mission as Lebanese Maronite order. Our order has been always by the Lebanese, to the Lebanese. Here in Lebanon, and when they started to travel, to immigrate, our order started to found missions abroad. So you know, we have someone talked maybe about the Lebanese Maronite order already? No? Okay. You know that we have missions because our university belongs to the Lebanese Maronite order. It is the order of the saints. You know, all the saints of Lebanon are from our order. Sharbel, Rafkan, Amtallah, and blessed brother Ostfan. So all the saints are from our order, and we feel very proud to have them from our order. So we are in Brazil, in Sao Paulo, and in Campinas. In Argentina, I think we are in Tucumán and Tucumán. Then Venezuela, then Mexico, then Canada, then London, USA, no, UK, yes, London, Paris, Rome, Ivory Coast, Dakar, Senegal, Sydney, Australia, then Cyprus, yes, and the Holy Land. I missed something, Fadi? No. So I started saying that we are honored and we are very, very happy to have you among us. I want first of all to thank the Maronite Foundation. When Mrs. Rose Shwairi and Mrs. Hiam Bistani came to me some month ago, asking me if the university would be hosting this event, your you're coming to Lebanon, I said with a big happiness that yes, surely, I would say yes for such a thing, because it fits very well with our mission in the order and in the university. So it's an opportunity to me to thank them for what they are doing. Here I thank also Mr. Neemat Frem and Mr. Hage, Charles Hage, and all the members of the Maronite Foundation. It is a big mission they have, and they are doing it very well. I'm also happy to introduce you a little bit our university. Our university, as I said, it's founded here in Kaslik, on the campus of Kaslik, in 1949. I said here in Kaslik because we had in our order a tradition of higher education throughout the centuries, and not only in our order, but also in the monastic tradition in the Middle East. Because one of our monasteries, I think you will be visiting it, or you visited it already, it's Koshaya in the Holy Valley. So there you will find the first printing press in the Middle East. The first book printed in the Middle East was printed in that monastery in 1610. 1610. The first book, the first printed book in the entire Middle East. And so you can imagine that the higher education tradition is from our order. And I know that maybe tomorrow or after tomorrow you'll have a tour in the university. You will discover the tradition, the old tradition, because you will visit the library, and in the library we have the unique lab of conservation and reparation of manuscripts and old books, the unique lab in Lebanon and maybe in the Middle East for doing that. You will see tradition. Then you will go to the Faculty of Sciences. You will go. You will see maybe the network of the Wi-Fi. You will see that all classrooms are having ACs, are having LCDs, projectors, are having all the new technologies. We had the first mobile application, and I'm telling you about some points just to tell you that we are combining the faithfulness towards tradition and the openness towards the future. And maybe here I would join Mr. Frem in his answer to the nice question. Your name is Mario. Yes, of Mario. The answer to Mario. The question of Mario was very clear and very existential. But I would add something that if we take the life more simply and with more faith in God, and I'm not stating that only because I'm a priest, a monk. No, I'm stating that from a practical point of view. Because if we think of the history, the whole history, it is a very short period in life, in the history. Our life, but also the history of our countries. We can see it in a very broad way, so that we can say, let us do good things. Our life is very short, but is very important. And if we have this view, we can be very positive always. Being positive, we can build universities, nations, countries, societies. And I think this thing is very important in our life. Think of it, and you will find that it's true. You can tell that our life is very precarious. No one can tell what will happen with him or her today or tomorrow or after tomorrow or whatever. No one can say, I will do very surely this thing in 2 weeks or in 1 month. But we should plan, we must plan, and always very positively. And if we think of Lebanon in a positive way, we can say that we are not unique, so we are not the only ones who are suffering on earth. No, not at all. I think that existential suffering is a human experience. So everyone on earth suffers, and that's a rule. No one can escape this rule. No one. So let me tell you, I don't know all your countries, but I'm very positive that if you think about your country, you will find ethnic difference or religious difference. I don't like to name countries, but I have some in mind. In Europe, in North America, in South America, in Australia, in Africa. Think of all indigenous people. Think of linguistic. Let me give you only, maybe no one of you here is from Belgium. Some are, no one. Good, it's better. So think of the linguistic difference in Belgium. Maybe they reach somehow they reach the war sometimes. They stay without government maybe a year. So the problems we have here, they are real, they are tough. That's true. But we should not say that we are unique in that. So thinking positively on Lebanon and putting this thought in a broader view of history, of God, of our mission on earth, we become, I think, more positive, and we can better build our life. That's why your coming here to Lebanon is very important. That's why the link with Lebanon is a way of thinking positively of life. I think so. I think so. That's why we should all praise the work of the Maronite Foundation, because they are doing that in a very positive way. Don't be ever, never negative. That serves nothing. That serves nothing. I think we have in front of us successful people in business and society, in mission, and so we can say that they are in a matter or another, they are examples for us. And here I don't want to end my speech before thanking also Father Fadi, not only for taking picture of me, but also for really he's doing a great job. But in our Christian faith, we should be positive. We should be positive. In the commencement speech, I said a businessman or woman is a good believer, and a good believer is a good businessman and woman. And I didn't say a businessman or woman. I said rather a good manager. Good manager. It fits both men and women. A good manager. Why? Because every one of us is a manager. Manager of his or her own life. And we should manage our life, how to get better future for us. So I was supposed to speak only about the university, but the question he raised was very interesting. And I love Lebanon. I love Lebanon. I believe in Lebanon. I believe in its mission. And we are here. Your forefathers or fathers were here. And it is so nice to have links with you, to have always links with you. So think of Lebanon. You will be interested in thinking of it, and we will be interested in having you as close friends, because your forefathers or your fathers are from Lebanon. And the nice answer also to the question of from Ecuador. So ahora pueden en Ecuador saber más sobre el Líbano. Gracias para ti. So No, estoy ahora estudiando español. No, yeah. So about the university, let me come back to our university. Our university has a big range of schools and faculties. We have the unique pontifical theological faculty in the Middle East, okay? And we have the Eastern and Religious Sciences faculty. We have philosophy, humanities, letters, law school, business administration, architecture and fine arts, agricultural sciences, agricultural engineering, and all kind of engineering studies or programs like chemical, biochemical, petroleum, and we have the medical school, and we have the sciences. What else? History, and the little. I said it. The agricultural faculty, and we are happy. Why? Because now. We had the European accreditation 2 years ago. We had it from a German agency, which is called Evalag. It's posted on our website. And now we are starting to change our bylaws to be fitting to with the American accreditation. And we have all the range of quality procedures. All these procedures are brought somehow from, let me say, North America especially, Canada and USA. These practices such as evaluating teachers, such as evaluating the campus, the university from the students, such as Moodle. I think many of you know what is Moodle. We have the Turnitin integrated into Moodle. Lately, we brought in our university, we are only now in Lebanon with another, so we are 2 universities in Lebanon now to have the TK20. The TK20 is a software which can accompany the administration of the university to establish the strategy and implement it and follow it up. So I will not go into all points of quality procedures and ranking procedures, internationalization procedures, but only let me tell you that we are following the universal trend of universities. Many of us, every month we have, I think, between 2 or 3 missions abroad of our staff. What for? Just to be in touch with the word of the universities everywhere. So that is our main concern. And if I tell you all that, because you know, I think you have heard a lot that in Lebanon we search excellence always, and we are glad to do so. We are glad also to pretend doing so if we are not doing so, and to boost our university is a matter of fact, because it's of our mission, searching excellence. So when you hear, we have war now in Arsal, we have war maybe somewhere else, we have a car bomb, I don't know where, some months ago, we don't have now this stuff or this other thing. In the midst of all this, all these negative points, just we ignore what's negative, and we work positively. So do so, think positively, and be or have the UZEC mindset, being positive. Why? Because we believe in God, we believe in Lebanon, and we believe in the human resources Lebanon has. Lebanon has great human resources. Here in Lebanon and abroad, I think some of our human resources are now you also, if you believe in our mission. And the Lebanese Maronite Order, let me repeat, is founded this university and is backing this university to think positively and go ahead positively. So thank you, and I'm waiting for your questions so I can maybe a little bit explain more about our university. Please, the micro, if... okay, you can. Sure.
Exactly.
You started it before yesterday. On Sunday, you had the Mass here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I think the microphone's off. But anyways. Oh, no, it's on.
It's working, yeah.
Pray. Because prayer makes a difference. For what it is impossible for us to do is actually possible for God. So establishing peace is actually possible. We go into Saida, we go into Sur, we go into Trablos, not because they're dark places, not because we don't want to go there, but because we are the light of the world, which is what Jesus told us. You are the light of the world. When they asked Jesus, why are you hanging out with these sinners? He simply said, the well don't need a doctor. If they needed a doctor, they'd be well. Think of these places as dark places because we are the light, and no one puts a light when it's sunny. You put a light when it's dark. And every one of you, every one of us is the light because the Holy Spirit lives in every one of us. So it's a prayer request. Pray, do the work, and you'll see what God can do through you. Because I've personally experienced it. I've personally seen what He can do through me, and He'll do much more greater things in you.
Nice, very nice. Very, very nice. Very nice, very well said, especially in the Holy Spirit University.
The Holy Spirit is awesome. It's really cool.
Where from California?
I live in Fontana. It's closer to LA.
Okay. Yeah, I was many times in LA.
Which church?
The Maronite one.
Oh, there's three.
There are three. No, Our Lady, Father Abdullah, Our Lady, Father, where the bishop was, Our Lady of Lebanon, I think.
The one, yeah.
Where Bishop Zayden was parishioner, was pastor before.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Adam Yusuf from Sydney, Australia. My family is originally from Blauza in the Shmel. My question is specifically about this university. I'm just curious about transfers from other countries and whether credits are recognised and how your system works. For example, if someone was studying overseas, can they transfer here? And if someone's studying here, can they transfer overseas? And
yes.
And what your specific areas of expertise are. So, for example, do people study philosophy here, or what are the most studied
yes.
degrees?
Okay, I listed somehow all our faculties. You can check on our website what we have as programs specifically. But for transferring, for us, it's somehow easy to do it. And we are broadening now all our international relations. So if you are interested you can contact our international affairs office, and they can establish some links with your university there, and an agreement can be established so you can have them recognized in your university. Yeah, it can be done, especially that in most of our faculties now we have the English sections also. It's good. You had your answer? Okay.
My name's Andre. I'm from Australia. I don't have a question, but I just want to say I'm sure on behalf of everyone here, Thank you. I've only been here for like 2 days and we've met like some amazing people. And like you said, it's our roots that link us together. And, sorry, I really didn't know what to expect from this, and I'm overwhelmed, as you can see, because like these people are great, like, and you made this happen. Everyone made this happen, and really, thank you. Your hospitality's exceeded everything, and this is what Lebanese has been all about. Like ahla sahla, welcome. You know, this is.
We are happy to do. We are happy to do that.
Yeah, and just thank you. I think on behalf of everyone, like this is amazing, and cheers.
Thank you. So thank you. Let me ask before. Yeah, very good. You will show it. I should leave before. Yes, you had a question?
My name is John. I'm from America. I think this program is great, trying to get people to reconnect all over the world with Lebanon. There's a reason why I see tourists here 100% European, 100% Arabs, because everybody, not just Lebanese, you know, they know that Lebanon has a beautiful culture. But the reason why people have been leaving Lebanon and the reason why they're leaving today, I think is just because of jobs. You know, I think the Lebanese people, I can speak for myself, I'd rather work in Lebanon and make 50,000 than work in Dubai and make 150,000. So, you know, because of the Lebanese culture, because of the nightlife, because of the people is who makes the country. So if we have jobs, then we can prevent, you know, more and more people from leaving Lebanon, you know, preserving the country and whatnot. Thank you.
Yeah, very nice. Yes. Let me add something here. It's a very nice statement. I would say that thinking positively, we can preserve our nice culture, the religious one and the cultural one, and so it's a duty for each one of us, and maybe for you also, for your forefathers and fathers, and everyone who is now in Lebanon, to preserve such a nice culture, being with others, being pluralistic in mind, as Mr. Frem said it before. Thank you.
First, I want to begin by saying that I believe in the Maronite mission. And one of my questions is that in Ecuador, we have a lot of descendants from Lebanese. And we are like fighting to have like a Maronite foundation in Ecuador, because years ago, my father like built a church for Maronites, and the mass only was for 10 people, 4 people. There was like a little bit of people. How we can make them like reconnected with like the Maronite mission that have them? How you can help us to reconnect it in Ecuador, that people, and build like a Maronite mission academy there?
That's I think the mission, especially of the Maronite Foundation and of you. You can now just be ambassadors of Lebanon to your societies. You can do it very simply, showing them maybe, one, showing them pictures or videos, two, telling them about the culture in Lebanon, telling them that that it's nice to be there, and it's nice especially to be linked to Lebanon. If one does not want to come, at least let him or her be close in mind and spirit to Lebanon. I think so, but the Maronite Foundation laid down some good foundation, I think. Okay, you have a question?
Gibran Habib, Australia. I have a question that I think a lot of us need to hear, because it's something that's constantly debated amongst Lebanese in Australia, like my friends. Our identity as Maronites, who we are. I would like to ask you, are the Maronites Arabs?
If you take it, so as Arabic language, we have it, yes. We have it, and we live in the Arab world. We have inside this big world, this big Arab world, we have our specificity. What is our specificity? We had the Syriac language, which is the language of Jesus, one of the dialects of the language of Jesus, and we had our own tradition and our own culture inside the Arab world. Yes, in a way, and with very specific, with a lot of specificities in the other way. That's the answer to your question. Yes, with a lot of specificities, with a non-culture, you know, with a non-history, with a non. We have our own history, our own culture, let me say, heritage. What?
Hello?
Yes, it's working.
Abuna, so you wouldn't agree with the concept that the Maronites descend from the Phoenician people?
I didn't hear.
Would you agree with the concept that the Maronites descend from the Phoenician people?
You know, why to say Maronites? All Lebanese are from this Phoenician roots. Why to say Maronites?
Because
so we should praise our history and know it well, but we should be also realistic in analyzing what's in history.
It was always my understanding that the Arabs were the conquerors who came from the Arabian Peninsula.
No, I think it should be done in a conference or lecture because this is what is your definition of being Arab? So one can say yes or no or what or yes, but that's you should define it. Those who came from abroad and came here, or the ones from here who are also Arabs, and we are also with this tradition, the Arab tradition, and our own Maronite tradition. So you should define who are Arabs, and then you will find yourself in or how you are in or around or.
Well, then, can I ask you, what would your definition of an Arab be?
It's a whole lecture now. I would not be able to do it in few seconds.
My question is, how do Christians of other denominations such as Orthodox, Melkites, and even like Armenian Christians in Lebanon fit in with the mission of the Maronite Academy?
Yeah. You can repeat the question?
How do Christians of other denominations in Lebanon, such as Rum, Orthodox, Melkites, Armenians, fit in with the mission of the Maronite Academy? The Maronite Academy is called the Maronite Academy, not Christian Academy. So
yes,
I
think Mr. Hage would be.
We are a Maronite foundation to serve all Lebanese, Christians and non-Christians.
My My name's Sandra Kaltoum. I'm from Sydney, Australia. And my question is, I know this is a Maronite university, and I'm wondering how you screen applications for the university, how people apply to come here. And I'm also wondering if it is exclusive to Maronites, and whether or not you would accept somebody who isn't Maronite, for example, a Melkite or an Orthodox person, and how the Maronite mission is expressed throughout the university, for example, with daily mass or prayers before lectures, things of that nature.
Okay, you know, Maronites are Catholic, you know?
Yes.
Okay, and the mission of the Catholic Church is well defined in a sentence. Pope Paul VI said it in this way. So the goal of every Catholic mission is to develop every human being without any discrimination, and all the human being, so all human being without any discrimination, and all the human being, so the human being in all his or her dimensions. Okay, that's my answer. So we are open to everybody, not only to Melkites or to Orthodox, but to everyone in Lebanon and abroad, because also we have international students. So it's open. And for prayers, we have a daily mass. It's early, I know, it's at 7 a.m. Some of the students come with us, but we have twice or three times mass for students at 12:30 p.m. And for the big feasts like Christmas or Easter, you have events, you have so we have the university pastoral, also an office which takes care of all spiritual life of the students.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, yes. We have 3 branches in Ermesh. It's at the border, and in the south, and in Zahle, and in Shikka, in the north. You know Zahle, where it is, in the Bekaa. And in Zahle, we will suffer a great loss next year, because one of the excellent priests working in Zahle will be leaving us to study in Rome. I guess you know him, no? Father Fadi is leaving them. Okay, before concluding, let me ask my mentor if I should say something more. No? And let me thank again the Maronite Foundation. Really thank you for what you have been doing in this regard. And many thanks for all of you. You have something to add? Yes.
Thank you. In the West, I think it's becoming more and more of the mainstream that institutions built on the foundations of religion aren't as popular or as or are kind of problematic in this day and age. Do you think an educational institution such as USEC that is built on the foundations of religion can be as effective as a secular educational institution?
Okay, that's a little bit a question like the question we had before. But let me add something here. I think in our modern way of thinking, especially I could say in the West, we have been raised in a way that put God aside, put your faith aside. I think what we can do is having our faith wherever we are, in a university, in a school, in a hospital, in a company, in wherever we are, and live in an open way to everyone, to serve all human beings without any discrimination, and all the human being in all his or her dimensions. I think secular, what is secular teaching? Yes, I understand the word, but what is secular? Let us define secular. What is secular? Secular is studying the word, helping or serving the word to be better, to be developed in a good way. It's secular or it's religious? It can be religious. It depends on the view we have of life. It's a matter of viewing life, how we define things like that. You see, it's because always no, the church is somewhere. No, it's I don't want to defend the role of the church in Delhi. It is like an institution teaching in the society and working in the society. Secular, I think it was one of the terms used to put the church aside. But it's good. I'm not saying that secular is not good. No, not at all. But secular or secularism, which puts God aside, it's bad. Okay, thank you.
You are most welcome. I'm so happy to be with you here today. And I am really honored, and I have a big pleasure to introduce you our treasurer of the Maronite Foundation, Mr. Charles Hage. You have seen him this morning, and you will hear him now. He will make his lecture straight away. Mr. Hage is has a Bachelor of Engineering from George Mason University in the US. He has 25 years of worldwide management consulting and management experience in the telecom and engineering field. Mr. Hage is currently involved in a variety of Middle East companies and non-profit organizations. He has initiated and led a variety of high-profile telecom companies in the United States, the Middle East, and the Africa region. He is co-founder and managing director of MADA Communications, wireless data and voice operator in many countries in the region. MADA is a joint venture with Zain, Z-A-I-N, is very well known, the leading of GSM operator in the Middle East. Is a founding member of the regional cable network RCN, the first and a terrestrial fiber optic system bridging east to west from Fujairah to Europe. He is Maronite League board's member. He was for 2 consecutive terms, dedicated mainly to defend the independence and sovereignty of Lebanon in the cadre of the democratic and pluralistic society. He is a founding member of the Maronite Foundation in the world, which mission, you know it very well now, which mission is to reconnect the ties between the Maronites in Lebanon and their fellow Maronite diaspora across the globe. The mission, too, is to strengthen the Maronite heritage and legal citizenship affiliation to the land of cedars and to promote Lebanon as the spiritual motherland of Maronites worldwide. أهلا وسهلا Mr. Hage. تفضل.
Once again, good afternoon. I have probably the toughest job today to speak after Mr. Frem or after the president of the university. Not much left for me to speak about. However, I'm not going to follow the presentation that was prepared for us. I'm going to transfer this to like a town meeting whereby we're going to discuss today. I'm going to really take from where Mr. Frem ended up, and I'm going to continue to talk more about why you are here. First, I want to speak a few minutes about the Maronite Foundation, and then we'll go to the Academy and the initiative, back to your roots, which is why you're here. As mentioned earlier, the Maronite Foundation really consists of 40 members. They have not done this because they like hobbies. This is not a hobby. The Maronite Foundation aim was actually to really follow up the mission that your ancestors started. Despite the misery that Mr. Frem and the previous speaker spoke about, your grandfathers and your ancestors left Lebanon during World War I or after 1860, but they did not forget Lebanon. Each one of them took something with him from Lebanon, and that meant a lot for him. For sure, we know this because a big number, when we talk about 70 to 100,000 people, went in front of the French consulate, because Lebanon did not have embassies during those days, and applied for citizenship. They have done this because they believed in Lebanon, despite the fact that they were flourishing and becoming successful around the world. And they did this to preserve your rights, to make sure that one day you will go and benefit from this benefit of having a dual citizenship. Being an American is very good. Being Lebanese is good. Being Australian is good. Being European is very good. Mexican, Australian, Bolivian, all of them. But being an American Lebanese is excellent because you'll benefit from both. I am a living example. I had the privilege to study and work in the United States, but I did migrate back. Somebody was asking, why would you want to migrate back? For a simple, and I'm not inviting people to come back. I wanted my kids to be raised the same way I was raised, with the same family values, that they are built throughout history. What I want to mention to you, that we have a great heritage. This heritage started from the Phoenician days. Somebody was talking about the Phoenicians. Do you know that Lebanon and the Phoenicians gave Europe its name? Do you all know this? Europa, Princess Europe. She was a Phoenician princess who went to Europe and gave Europe its name. You all know the Phoenicians, gave the alphabets. If we move on with history, Lebanon was and will continue to be the refuge for Christians in the region. Even Jesus Christ, when he used to run away from Jerusalem, he used to come and meet with his disciples and with Mary in Lebanon. From those days till now, Lebanon was and continue to be the refuge for Christians. Look at what's happening today. Where would all the Christians in the Middle East, whoever is left, would come to? We also preserve the Arabic language. Somebody was talking about Arabs or non-Arabs. Why I'm saying this? This is our great heritage that we should preserve for the future. This is what the Maronite have done. And please forgive me, every time we talk Maronite, we do not distinguish between Maronite and Lebanese, because for us is one. It was said, we don't want Lebanon to be a Christian country, but we want Lebanon for the Christians. We don't want Lebanon to be a Maronite country, but we want Lebanon for the Maronites. We are the grandfather of this country. So, if I summarize these pictures before this one, when we talk about these three pictures, it can be summarized in a language probably you will understand. Liberty, freedom of speech, freedom of religion. This is what the Maronite are all about, This is our 1,500 years of history consists of this. From the election of the first patriarch, Saint Maroon, Yohanna Maroon, it was done in a very democratic way. I want you to also to know, probably more than 50% of our heritage is built from the Catholic order, from the Maronite order in Lebanon. We are today in a university called USAC. Not only graduate students, just like you, but they also graduate priests. That's probably what not mentioned earlier. This is the university that graduates priests for all Christians, all Catholic priests, including Maronites. But also, as was mentioned before, it's a school of saints. So once again, we want to thank Father Fadi, the university, for their hospitality. Also, I'd like to thank the organizing committee, Madame Bistani, for all her efforts. Also, we have with us Madame Nada Abisamra, who was with us last year as a founding member of the Maronite Academy, and she was giving a lecture online that you probably, most of you took the course. I want to move on to why you're here. And this is going to be an interaction session now. Do you all know why you're here? Why you're here? Good. Anybody else? Are you here to be brainwashed? Okay. Who else? Pardon? To rebuild Lebanon? Yes. Say it again. Yes. Okay. Say it again. Yes, yes. Excellent, excellent. You're finishing my presentation. Continue to go. Continue, continue. You're giving me great help. Go ahead.
To learn the Maronite history so we understand all the struggles and how great we have at the moment.
Excellent. Yes. Great. To connect with each other. Very good. The fact that you're here, that means a lot. That means you care. And the fact now you have summarized why you're here, it's really the right answer. We know you have it in you to preserve your rights and the rights of your grandfathers. But Lebanon is a pluralistic society. There is another fact also you need to know, that Lebanon is the oldest democracy in the Middle East. You all know what democracy means. Numbers count. Nature doesn't like void. If the original citizens of Lebanon ignore the fact that this country belonged to them, somebody else will come and replace them. Somebody talked about what if others will do the same. I regretfully tell you, 80% of the Christians who are Lebanese Christians who live abroad are not registering their marriages and their kids. 95% of non-Lebanese Christians who are living abroad are registering their marriages and their kids. There is not much for them to do. They have done their homework. If we go back to those 100,000 or 70,000 that immigrated and requested their citizenship, the government granted them citizenship. Unfortunately, they were not informed. Probably it was an accident that they were not informed, but I hate to tell you that from the 1950s until today, not the government, not the church, no one was able to do the right thing, find those people, like we talked about Ecuador, promote Lebanon, encourage people to register. Today, the Maronite Foundation decided to open up offices all over the world, really to encourage people to register and not to forget their motherland. This is an organization that is not going abroad and requesting funds. This is probably the only organization that I know of is collecting money from Lebanon and investing in the diaspora. Why we're doing this? Because we want Lebanon to continue to be for its original citizens. If we don't do this, we will all disappear. Mistaken who believes that Maronite around the world or Maronite churches around the world can flourish without Lebanon. This is the motherland. Lebanon is the spiritual land for Maronites around the world. If Maronites or Lebanon does not exist, there will not be a Maronite church abroad. We will continue to meet around the Tabbouli probably and the Kibbinayi, but we will all lose our heritage. What is expected from you? Do you all know? I can tell you one thing. From a contractual point of view, the foundation wants nothing from you. Zero. However, as a Maronite community, as Lebanese citizen, we expect a lot from you. You are smart, you are educated, you are privileged to be here. You will be exposed this week or this coming 10 days to wonderful and very smart people. I don't know if any other group will have the same privilege that you will have. Today you had a small flavor, starting by Mr. Frem, the president of the university. You will have as interesting people speaking to you all week long. Please benefit from them. Communicate with them on the social media. Those are well-known business people in this community and probably on the international arena as well. So, you are privileged. You know you are privileged because out of 600 people you are here. We decided to have you come here. I want to hear from you. What do we expect from you? Anybody knows? What does the Lebanon needs from you? So, we're going to start writing down notes, and I'm going to ask Maria, please, start writing down notes that you're going to make these recommendations. Basically, you are saying you're going to become ambassador at large for Lebanon. Correct? Next. Let me help you more. You all know that the brand equity of I am Lebanese has a high value around the world. Thanks to you, to your father and your grandfather, they have built for us a great image. It is something that you should be proud of every time you say, I am from a Lebanese origin. And trust me, in today's world, everybody requires an address. Don't be ashamed of your Lebanese citizenship, because great people around the world are not. Where is the picture? You probably know those people. Every time you see an article written about them, they will either say Mexican Lebanese, Australian Lebanese, American Lebanese. There are hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people just like that. So be proud of your roots. Yes.
I'm proud of a lot of things in Lebanon. I'm proud of a lot of things in Lebanon. I'm proud of the individual success. I'm proud of the food, the mountains, the beach, the people. Proud of the people. I'm not proud of the state, however. I'm having a hard time connecting with the state and saying to everybody I'm proud to be a Lebanese citizen, as in Lebanese citizen from the state of Lebanon. I don't know.
Okay.
When I show my passport, I don't have a visa nowhere. I can't enter any country. Nobody likes Lebanese from the state perspective, from a legal point of view. Can you tell me something the state of Lebanon did good for the Lebanese since it was created? Is there something to be proud of the Lebanese state? Not the geography, not the food, not the people?
Perfect. Let me start from the initiation of Lebanon. Lebanon has done a lot. Let me count for you 5 things. Lebanese, Christians in particular, since the inception, and this is a very good question. We were the first democracy, even it's not a perfect democracy, this is the first democracy in the Middle East. We built schools to be the schools for the region, universities. We were the only universities in the Middle East. We preserved the Arabic language as government. We created the best banking system in the Middle East. We had the best as Lebanese government. Don't look for the past 20, 30 years only. The Lebanese passport, you were able to travel with the Lebanese passport worldwide. The Lebanese lira was accepted in most foreign exchanges in Europe. The income in Lebanon before 1975 was much better than many Eastern European countries to the border of Europe. All this Lebanon created. More than that, the Lebanese government and the Lebanese people work on people. As I mentioned, educated. We created what we call tourism. Today, do not forget the Lebanese people who are the people who built what's so-called the Gulf. Lebanon today is the melting pot of the Middle East and Africa. So the system in Lebanon is not perfect. It is a pluralistic society. I can name for you many countries had a rough start, much bigger than ours. We are a young democracy. We are learning as we go. We did not give up. We will never give up on the idea that Lebanon is a pluralistic society. We don't want Lebanon to be a Christian country, but yes, Lebanon will continue to be a country for the Christians in this part of the world. Regardless what people believe, what they're gonna try, yes, we know billions of dollars were invested to increase birth rates, and to buy lands. But let me tell you one thing. We inherited Mount Lebanon. We will pass Mount Lebanon to our kids and to our 4 kids. Not to worry. We will lead by example. Again, I'd like to emphasize on one point. The Maronite Foundation or the program of the Maronite Academy, we do not intend to do any politics. We do not get involved in any election laws. We are not in here to promote one party over another party. We are here to preserve Lebanon, to preserve your heritage and our heritage. We are looking for ambassadors. It is your choice. We will not force you. However, if we see this program is not paying off, you will be preventing others from coming to Lebanon. You do what you think it's right. Last year group did great. You all probably witnessed their statements on the website, on Facebook. Probably encouraged you to come this year. The only thing I ask from you is to continue to be engaged with our offices, continue to be engaged online. Let us build this global Lebanese village. Let us all reconnect or continue to connect. Probably a lot of you did not stop connecting, whether with Lebanon or with other Lebanese groups worldwide. Be proud of your roots as Lebanon is proud of you. With this, I open for any more questions that you might have. Yes. Give him the microphone, please. You don't need one, but probably they do.
Okay, my question, Mr. Hage, is about registrations. I know that for myself personally, and for a lot of my friends, registration is actually very, very difficult to do. And I think that my question is, how are we embracing modern technology to make this an easier process? How can we do that? Because I know the system at the moment, for me and for a lot of my friends that are trying to get registered, is very difficult. First, we have to, for example, get our grandparents' number. Like, we have to get them registered if they're not properly registered. Then we have to get our parents' marriage registered, or our father registered, then his marriage registered, and then we can look at ourselves to get registered. Once we do that, we have to come here to our home villages and go and see the makhtor of the village, and he has to give you your paper, and it's just such a long process. Even after you've done that, you still have to go and actually get your hawiyya, the card, at the end, and it's just such a long process and so difficult. I've been trying to do it for over a year at the moment, and it's just, I think we could do a lot better with the technology. Like, why is it such a big effort, and what are we doing to make this a lot smoother, a lot more efficient?
This is a very good technical question. It has 2 parts. You're talking about you are eligible from your grandfather to get your citizenship. Therefore, you have to go through the process of giving citizenship to your grandfather and then continue down. With the presence of our offices, from which country are you? Australia. Once you take care of your stuff in Australia, the rest can be done through the foundation. So, in today's world, let's not kid each other. Most of the papers you are asking about, they are online. The beauty of why today we can make a difference, because a lot of the nations that you live in, most of the birth certificate and the death certificate and all this are online. So you can request this information online. You can take it to the embassy. with the help of our offices, we will track it all the way to come to the Mukhtar, and you can get your ikhraj aid. So it's no longer complicated like it used to be in the past, whereby you go apply, you wait 6 months to know if you are eligible. With the presence of our offices today, you will know right then if you are eligible. You will get the right information, you fill up the papers, you submit them, and the process will take maybe 1 or 2 months, but you don't have to worry about it. We will track it for you. The foundation will track it for you. So it's not as complicated as it was before. This is for the people who are eligible. Just think how much work is required and compare it to your forefathers that preserved this right for you. How much they have done to give you a better life and to keep the spirit with you. Spending half a day to get the paperwork, ladies and gentlemen, is not much. Get the people to start believing in their home country. Spending 2 or 3 hours to register is not a lot of work. It is. Now, the second part, for the people who are not eligible, we encourage you to register online. We will be launching a website online. And I'm telling you this so you can tell it to others. You will get people to register if they are from Lebanese descendant and they don't have the privilege to get the citizenship today. Either we will get it in a special decree, or when the law passes, that we are trying to fight to get it, first to simplify the process and to grant the people who were registered in 1931 census that they were living abroad, they will have the right for citizenship.
I think one of our biggest problems is a lot of us don't speak fluent Arabic anymore. We're second or third generation in another country that we don't speak Arabic. Once we do get approval to become citizens, to actually know how to get to our own village and who to speak to and how to get that paperwork.
You don't need, the offices can do it for you. Contact the office. We have office in Sydney, employs 7 people. They're there to serve you.
Okay. I think that information hasn't been projected to the diaspora because I know for a fact, but while we've been here, I've been here for about a month. For us, we've actually been going to each individual's village to try and get registered so that everyone can get their khrojat and the hawiyya. So we didn't actually know how to do this without going to the mukhtar of our village.
Now you know why the foundation was established. Exactly. You are a living example.
Exactly.
Just to make sure we first serve and bridge between the people living abroad and in here, and to try to help and simplify the process. Yes.
Okay.
Your name and country?
Jabran Habib, Australia. Australia. Originally Lebanon.
I hope so.
I can see on the title, be proud of your roots. And we're called to be ambassadors to the diaspora in Australia. I can give you one example of people that live in Australia. The largest amount of, I have a friend, he's from a village called Fudasghab originally. His grandparents in the 50s migrated from Lebanon to Australia. Fudasghab is located next to Ehden, and that village has given Australia 24,000 people. The descendants of that village number 24,000, more than any other village in all of Lebanon present today in Australia, if you understand what I'm saying. Now this, for the Fudasghabiyya, so they're the people that come from this village, there's a lot of them. And we have one particular friend who came to Lebanon for the first time. And we showed him his village, and we showed him everything, and he fell in love. And he wants to come back again next year. And it was beautiful. But the problem is, when you sit there and you try to explain to other Lebanese, like Michael, who haven't yet visited Lebanon, Michael had a lot of problems coming to Lebanon with his own parents because they were afraid for him. They were afraid for his safety. Why? Because of Hezbollah. This problem, like, if you speak to a lot of Australians that are of Lebanese descent, a lot of them are scared of Hezbollah. A lot of them are scared, and now obviously because of ISIS. But the security situation here in Lebanon makes it very hard for one to be proud of their roots, if you understand what I'm saying. And not to mention the fact that it gets very complicated because there's obviously a portion of Lebanese that also support Hezbollah. And for those who have migrated and are second and third and maybe even fourth generation, when they see these things on television, especially in the Western media, which emphasizes bombings and which emphasizes stability. For example, when we try to leave Australia, we're required to register on a government website called smarttraveller.com. Smarttraveller.com shows you every single country around the world and the security situation and whether you should visit it or not. Lebanon is what? Like, there's like 5 levels. Extremely bad is the last one, and I think we're the one level before extremely bad, and sometimes we're going between extremely bad and very bad.
We're talking about heritage. We're talking about 1,500 years heritage. It's not measured in few years or 5 years or 10 years. Before Hezbollah, we had the Palestinians. Before Hezbollah, we had the Syrians. Before the Syrians, we had the Palestinians. Before the Palestinians, we had the Turks. Before the Turks, we had the Khalifas. This part of the world always been this way, and Lebanon continue to exist, and Lebanese continue to be proud of who they are worldwide. Do not think of United States, for example, how long it took them to get it out of their system, to get their democracy moving. Europe, we are a young democratic country. Things will get better, provided we lead with good example. Be proud of your roots. Your roots are not what is important from outside Lebanon. Let me take another step in a different direction. The Muslim of Lebanon is not like the Muslim of all other world. The Lebanese Muslim celebrate Christmas like we celebrate Christmas. The Christians in Lebanon understand how the Muslim feels. And we celebrate, during their feast with them. It's because we are here. This is our mission. This is our role. Go ahead. Yes.
Earlier you mentioned that democracy is all about numbers, so I'm wondering why not aggressively campaign to increase the birth rate here at home of the Maronites?
Well, I cannot convince my wife to have a 5th child, so how am I going to convince others to do? Look, it is difficult in today's world where you have famine around the world to get people and women educated to force them to bring more kids. However, there are programs being run to make it easy to people to have even 1 and 2 and 3 kids. We are working on this subject, but in today's world, you cannot come to a lady and tell her, manufacture more kids. Try with your peers and see what happens in here.
Well, it's been done before, so I slightly disagree. For example, in China, when they were having war, they strongly campaigned for people to have more children, and they did have a lot more children. And that's why we see the population.
And what was the literacy rate in China then?
I'm sorry?
What was the literacy rate in China then?
I'm not quite sure. But they had a lot more children, and now the population is immensely grown. So I'm wondering if we just push in Lebanon, tell people to just have more kids, I'm sure we can get it done as well.
It is not the birth rate, it's a myth. Let me clarify. And Neemat early on mentioned about why we have this big decalage, or we have this big difference in the numbers. The 400,000 people, the 400,000 citizen Christians, today they are 1.6 million, while 400,000 Muslim today they are 3.2. It's not because of the birth rate is higher. It's a myth. The birth rate is high in Lebanon, depends on geography, not on religion. Christians in the Bekaa, they have the same number of kids, just like as the Muslims. The Muslim in Beirut has the same number of kids, just like as the Christian. So it's a geography related, not. The majority of the difference came from immigration, not registration. We have 45% of male still registered in our censorship as single. 45. while the norm around the world is 20% usually male are not married, are single. We are 45. Then, if you look at the Muslims, 24% of the male Muslim are registered single. So they only have 4 percentage points of male are not registering. And I wonder why. This leads us to believe 80% of the people who are living abroad, Christians, are not registering. This is a crime. Why would anybody want to leave his heritage? For working a couple hours to register? It's not acceptable. No, ladies? We'll get the question from there.
Hi, I'm Hage from Mexico. I was talking with my colleagues here, new friends, yesterday, and we were talking about the pros of having a citizenship. Thank God I have a citizenship already, and I understand the pros. I just couldn't explain them to them. You know, like, I can understand and I could explain to them the pros for Lebanon, you know, like.
For Lebanon or for you?
Yeah, I could explain them for Lebanon. I mean, what are the pros for Lebanon of you getting the citizenship? But I can explain what were the pros for us, for ourselves. So, I mean, I understand them, but I wonder if you could explain them, like the real pros for them, please.
Why it's important to have a citizenship. I mentioned earlier, Lebanon is the melting pot for the Middle East. I hope my friend will not be offended, but in Lebanon, you have probably one of the highest number of millionaires and billionaires, not because they made their money in Lebanon, because they made it in the region. Your Lebanese citizenship gives you access to the entire Middle East and Africa. It gets you to come to Lebanon and open offshore banking without any question asked. People who are working and paying high taxes around the world, they will understand what an offshore means. With the Lebanese passport, it will facilitate for you to open a bank account, whether in Lebanon or in the Gulf. Whether we like it or not, for the coming 20 years, the Gulf will continue to be the most liquid place that you can imagine on earth. Lebanon will give you an entry to the Middle East. If you're talking about investing in Lebanon or coming to Lebanon, through the program subsidized by the government in Lebanon, you can come with a business plan and get up to $400,000 a loan only based on business plan and idea at almost 0% interest. It's a subsidized program. You can go to $10 million loans if you were to invest in certain sectors with 1 or 0% interest. If you go to manufacturing, if you go to IT, if you go to siyaha, to tourism, if you invest in agriculture. So if anybody from you is entrepreneurial and wants to develop an idea, I don't know a bank or a country around the world will give you up to $400,000 loan based on an idea. I don't know any country around, well, there are some countries, will give you up to $10 million and with a tax break for 10 years, loan with 1% interest if you were to invest in the local economy. So, a lot of benefits. And I will answer it at the end of the day. What does it hurt to have this dual citizenship? And why you want to prevent your kids from having it? Today, probably in your opinion, doesn't have much value. But who says it will not have a value again? So pass it to your kids and let them decide in the future. Do not really make them lose it. Yes? Charles. Good. I knew it probably.
Just a question regarding the practical significance. What does it mean for Lebanon, for us, to register people?
Simple. In a democracy, it's all built based on numbers. Numbers. When we are in a pluralistic society, government power is shared among factions. Basically, if we don't have the count to have 50% or 40%, one day they're going to come and say, wait a second, where are you? Why do you want to share the government on the 50-50 level? Look at the formula. Lebanese citizens around the world are not claiming their citizenship. Non-Lebanese are being granted citizenship, Lebanese citizenship. Something wrong with this formula. It's up to you to help us promote the values of the foundation. You are here today to really see the real Lebanon. We're going to take one more question or two questions. Two ladies, and we finish.
Okay, we were talking about registering people. Well, I'm Marwa from Florida. I don't think the time and work that we put into it, that you were saying it's kind of, it's hard to register, like he was saying. I don't think that's the problem in America. I think the problem is people are misleading or are talking about Lebanon the wrong way. And I don't think Lebanese people in particular know about Lebanon the way you're talking about Lebanon. I think the Lebanese people need to learn a little more about Lebanon more than the people that are outside of Lebanon. For example, I was at the airport and I was behind some people and I had my Mexican friends with me. And some lady said, I was saying I was proud of my roots, I was proud of Lebanon, I'm so happy to go there. And she said, شو هالبلد, هيدا بلد. And then I had my Mexican friends with me, which they heard it. So what do we do at that point? I mean, there's people that are talking bad about Lebanon. What do we do?
Lead by example. Again, lead by example. You are the good living examples. You are in here to give us hands. We are only a group of 10, 15 people that they leave their jobs to come and work for this cause. We are hoping with this big numbers, and we're going to continue to do this program for years to come, so we can have hundreds and hundreds of ambassadors to speak and promote Lebanon, the true Lebanon. Final question. We're standing between you and the food. This is
I am
this
hungry.
is not a good position to be in.
Is this working? I am hungry, but hi, my name is Annie. I'm from Boston in the U.S. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for having us here. And also, I apologize because I'm not a great public speaker at all.
Same here.
But I guess what I'd like to say is a little bit more of a thought and a suggestion. But I don't think that us students here, 64 of us, are enough to make as much of an impact as you're looking for. I think, and it's kind of along the lines of what Gibran was saying about lobbying. I don't think we have resources for it right now. But maybe if back home, for example in Boston, we have the religious community of the Christians, but within that community there's a big divide politically. So maybe instead of just reaching out to people for registrations, word of mouth, we could reach out to like people with influence, and they could speak at different Lebanese events and kind of maybe like wash out the whole like political problem and speak on more Christian unity for the cause. And through using like people with influence and respect and like kind of power, you could also elicit more funds and be a little bit more aggressive than just using students and such.
Good. It's a good way to finish. First, I want you to know that we will have a wrap-up session at the end, and we will take all your ideas about how can we improve this class and what can be done on the level of the Maronite Foundation. But I want to say two things. We need your help to, one, promote friends and families to register and to spend the hours to do it. Two, help us identify well-known people in your community, whether they are deans, doctors. Communicate with our offices. We're talking about reaching to other group in the United States. Madam Abi Samra, she's with us here. She's already in discussions with all the political party in the United States. We want you to identify for us 5, 6, 10 people that they did not register. Give us 3, 4 names of well-known people in your community. And those 5, 6 people probably will give us another 5, 6 people, and the 5, 6 people will give us another. Today we live in a social media. We ought together, with your help, reach eventually where nobody else was able to reach. Not the government, not the church. It will be you who's going to make the difference in the future. I want to thank you again for your time. Hopefully you'll have a pleasant 2 weeks, and we will be seeing you again. And I want you to know you will have a wonderful ceremony, what we call a graduation ceremony, on the 16th. Prepare yourself for a big party then. Between now and then, thank you, God bless you, stay safe. I have one technical comment. Please, when you go out, avoid talking to strangers. Stay together. We live in a very critical moment. We want you to go have fun. Avoid, again, from speaking to as many foreigners you can encounter. Thank you. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you, I was very, very happy to spend this hour today with you. I want to thank you, Charles, Madame Steny Kilkon, for such a wonderful day. I want to leave now. I will not be seeing you, so I will not be at lunch, but I'm sorry. But how something that was done before for the immigrants, so keep it with you. When you see somebody that is immigrant, fresh immigrant, tell him this. This is our recommendation.